Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name's Jenny and this is Arnold the Praying Penguin, and we are back for our next round of Penguins Choose My TBR. We took a bit of a break over summer, which I will explain in a minute, but we are back to find out what books we're going to be reading in October. If you're not familiar with Penguins Choose My TBR, I will link the whole playlist down below, but this is a TBR game that we play each month to find out what books we're going to read, and with a lot of help from the penguins. But we normally start with, how did I get on last month? And the answer is, for the last 2 months, very, very badly. So for August, I barely read anything, and in September, I've honestly read even less. So we're just going to draw a clean slate and we're going to start over. I'm also not going to be doing any reviews or thoughts or feelings on the books in these videos anymore. You can find those over on my blog, which I will link down in the description, and I'm also going to do a kind of wrap up each month over on Instagram. So go and follow me over on Instagram if you'd like to see those. So after this little bit of a reading slump, for October we're just going to go really nice and easy on ourselves and choose just 4 books and see how we get on with 4 books. I haven't read 4 books in August or September, so it's a challenge, but let's see if we can get back into reading. Let's start with the first roll. So last month we finished over on Arnold's Belly, so we're going to start here this month. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A red. Find a red piece of paper. The Travelling Cat Chronicles. So this is quite funny because this book has come up on, I think, a couple of recent TBRs and I just haven't got around to it, but I do really want to read it. This is a book translated from Japanese and it's set in Japan, and it follows this cat and his owner as they're kind of going on a bit of a road trip, and we don't really know why. But part of it is written from the perspective of a cat, which I've heard is really funny, and I've also heard it's really sad, so that'll be fun. Okay, roll number 2. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another red. The Stationery Shop of Tehran. Okay, so this is The Stationery Shop of Tehran by Marjan Kamali. So this is set in 1953 Tehran, which is the capital of Iran. So this is just a book that I picked up in a charity shop because it looked really interesting. I'd heard a couple of people mention it, and I don't really know much about the history of Iran or kind of anything about this period. This is set in 1953, so I'm quite interested to learn more about the country. And this is all about a stationery shop and about these 2 people who have a relationship and kind of how that is impacted by the conflict and what's going on in Iran. So I'm excited to read that. Roll number 3. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Adelaide Penguin. Okay, we are going to get to choose something. Okay, so when we land on an Adelaide Penguin, this means that we need to choose a romance book. And I don't know that I have tons of romance books, so let's have a look at what we've got. Okay, so this isn't kind of expressly listed as romance, but I think it is kind of contemporary romance. It does seem to have a romance storyline within it, so I'm going to count it. This is Long Way Gone by Charles Martin, and from what I know, this is basically kind of a modern retelling of the prodigal son from the Bible. So I'm really interested to see how they do that and kind of what that looks like in a contemporary setting, and how kind of closely it follows the story from the Bible. I'm quite interested to see what that looks like. So, book number 3. And for our final roll, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A yellow. And the yellow pieces of paper are our prompts. So let's go for this one. Animal on the cover. Okay. Okay, so for animal on the cover, I've chosen The Midnight Library by Matt Haig because there is a little cat on it, which I hadn't realised, but there is actually a cat on it, so it fits for this prompt, which is perfect. is quite a small one, so I think it'll be quite a quick read. This is a kind of fantasy, or maybe contemporary with a bit of a fantasy twist. So it's basically about this woman who is struggling with her mental health, and I believe does commit suicide, but then is kind of in this in-between library between life and death, and is kind of being shown these different options of if she'd made different decisions at different times, what would have happened and what would have her life looked like, to kind of look at regret and kind of what might have happened and those kind of things. I think there's been kind of mixed opinions on this. Loads of people absolutely love it, loads of people kind of very meh. I'm interested to see what it's like. So those are 4 roles for this month's TBR. Thank you very much to the Penguins for choosing our TBR this month. So the books that we're going to be reading are The Travelling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arakawa, The Stationery Shop of Tehran by Marjan Kamali, Long Way Gone by Charles Martin, and The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. So I think this is quite a doable pile of books. Hopefully this will get me back into it. I'm quite excited to read all of these, but there's quite a good mix. We've got some kind of historical fiction, some translated contemporary fiction, some kind of fantasy, so an interesting mix. I would also quite like to finish off reading Far From True by Linda Barkley, which I have started, but I'm not finished yet. So we'll see if I can finish this by the end of September, and if not, finish it off at the beginning of October. It's good so far, but I'm only a little chunk in so far. But if any of these books sound interesting to you, I will link them all down in the description below so that you can check them out. And don't forget to check out the books that I've read in August and September, which will be on my blog and on Instagram, and I'll link both of those down in the description below. So we hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos from me and Arnold, including next month when we'll have the Penguins choose my November TBR, and we'll see how I did this month. We create videos every Saturday about prayer, about exploring the Bible, and about living out your faith. So we'll see you next Saturday for a new video. Bye!